Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. Wait a minute, I'm not wearing my rings. Hello again everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. It is one of those review times and I thought, why not have something from Spinetic, because I have not featured any Spinetic product in a while. I've had the Cutbar with me for quite some time, and yes everyone, this is the Cutbar. And also before I continue, I know you guys missed the fella, so check this out first.
Flashback.
Hey bro, you just tagged me on Instagram, what for? What for you tag me on Instagram?
Shoe I want raffle for a shoe
Raffle for shoe. Bro, nah.
What's this?
You tried this before, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted your impressions, that's all. I can't remember if I recorded your first impressions, did I?
I think you did.
Sorry.
Still sharp.
Still sharp.
Stopping it is still painful.
Yeah.
Like my skin is gonna fall off or something. But not bad, the spin is not bad, but the stopping part.
You know the actual reason why is because the viewers actually miss you. That's why I'm recording you.
Oh, hi guys.
That's the underlying reason, bro. And I decided to try like a different format where I don't go through the whole unboxing. Then you know like how I go out to lunch and then show spinners and stuff. Because nowadays we're so busy that we don't really have, you know, like time for like a proper lunch. So that's the truth. The reason why, because there's a lot of spinners that I have that I only record after a couple of months maybe. And this one was quite long already, right?
This one quite long.
Yeah, I posted a video up and then some of the comments were like, but I miss your colleagues.
Everyone has been busy lah.
Yeah, everyone's been busy, man, and tired, and life has changed. And
Everything changed except this is still sharp.
oh, hey, leave a comment if you guys think that Tetris lost weight, because I think he lost weight.
Have I? Nice.
You think he lost weight? Tell them about your diet.
Basically, I don't eat breakfast. I just have a meal replacement for lunch, and I try to eat lesser carbs during dinner.
How long has it been?
About 1.5 months.
If it was me, I would fail after the first week. 1.5 months is good, bro.
Yeah.
Good. But I also watching my diet and we've been eating salads quite a lot.
I'm not on a diet.
Yeah, she's not on a diet. As a matter of fact, she has gained weight.
Fatty.
Wait.
Yeah, I know you guys miss Tetris, especially Tetris, with his cool old school glasses. Oh, these called again aviators. These were called navigators.
Navigators.
Navigator styles. That's what we found out the other day.
These are really tough to find. It took me like several years.
Oh, random question. If Tetris ever starts a YouTube channel and he does video game streaming, would you guys support him? Whether it's YouTube or Discord, would you just let me know in the comments below? Because I've been suggesting to him that he should do it. Y'all should see. I wish y'all could see it. Whenever he plays games, right, he gets super aggressive. And it's damn funny. Super vulgar.
Yep. Can't say no about that. Yeah.
Alright, so anyway, you guys know this is his verdict. It's still sharp. Thanks.
End of flashback.
Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little snippet. I told Tetris that all of you miss him. So there you go. Some Tetris for you guys. Anyway, this is the Cutbar, everyone, and in that video we were talking about how sharp this is. I guess I lost the footage of me sharing this with Tetris for the first time and getting his impressions. And also for me, I didn't even take any unboxing video because I thought this was going to be just another standard purchase that I would make, you know, and put this in my collection. But the impressions for me of the Cutbar, the main impression is that it is super sharp due to the machine finish. Now this thing, the reason why I got it, honestly speaking, is because this, in my opinion, looks really nice. I really love the way it looks and I like the fact that this part is cut out so nicely. Yes, there is a different version called the slot bar, but personally I think the Cutbar just looks better. So I got it, and this is actually from the first batch. And the first batch meaning that the buttons have a really tight tolerance, you know, from where the spinner frame is. And for me, that was also another reason why I wanted to get it, because this was the first time Joshua was trying out something a little bit different for the spinners. He wanted something that had much less of a gap in between the buttons and the spinner frame itself. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to be part of it, and so I hopped on the order for it and I managed to get one of these. So let's just pop the buttons off, and yes, ta-da, it is a slip fit spinner. No core for this, no screw cap retention system for this. I believe that this might be one of the very first few non-bearing retention system spinners that Spinetic has to offer, but you know, good job. Anyway, it's a good job. It's a job well done. Now, onto the buttons. These are the Cutbar buttons, and because these were first run, they are unfortunately, or they were unfortunately, not dedicated male and female buttons. You guys can see that this is actually a set screw, and it has a little dimple here. This is actually a wider dimple than most other dimples I've seen. This is actually pretty big. I could probably just, you know, balance it on, say, for example, an Apple Pen. You know what I mean? But yes, these are the buttons, everyone. For the first run, I thought it was not bad. And well, there isn't really much I have to say about the spinner, except that number one, I really like the way it looks. And number two, it is just really damn sharp. Like, it's super sharp. Even Tetris was saying that it was really sharp. And yes, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't buff it out. I didn't polish it off yet. One, I was lazy. Two, I was thinking I wanted to keep it in the stock form if I ever, in case, wanted to make a video. And here I am. I'm making a video on it. So after this video, I will be, I guess, trying to soften the edges, either with a buffing pad of a fingernail file, or maybe I'll just give it a light stone wash. Speaking of light stone washing, I want to share this update with you guys right here in this video because I don't want to make a dedicated special video for that. But here you go. This is the light stone washed effect that I got on the rondelle. You guys know I was really upset with the machine finish on the rondelle. It was really sharp. You saw how it scraped my fingernail, but now it is softened a lot, and all I did was just give it a very light stone wash for like about half an hour, and it's now got that hybrid finish. So I guess it was kind of like luck, I suppose, that I managed to get the exact kind of finish that I wanted, because this is the same kind of finish that was featured on the Dot 2. I don't have the Dot 2 around. It's kind of difficult for me to get, so I'm just lazy. But yeah, I mean, it looks almost exactly like what the Dot 2 has. It's got machine marks, and it's got a little very slight stone wash look. See that? Yeah, I love it. And it is not sharp. Here, I'll use my index finger. Look. Sharpness all gone. Pretty happy with that. So yes, going back on topic, I might give this that same light stone washed effect, you know, or finish I should say, just so I could soften up some of the edges here, because the sharpest parts are here on this outer edge. You could see that it is scraping some of my skin off right there, and of course out here as well. And the sharpest part on the entire spinner is actually these four corners on each side of the spinner. Those are really sharp. I mean, you could already just see from this itself, you know, it's super sharp. And I think that it is sharp to the point that it might actually cut you. Wait, let me just pop the buttons back on again. Okay, so with relevance to what I just was mentioning about, sometimes when you perform preloaded flicks or when you perform pulls, some people might have their fingers actually landing very close to the space in between the arm and the button right there. And if you do that, and if you have slightly meatier fingers, then you might get some of your, I guess, skin in between, in that crevice over there. Right there. And then if you perform a strong pull, that's when you probably cut yourself. You know, that's a very high chance for you to cut yourself. But that is already stated on the Spinetic Spinners website. Now I'm going to read part of that disclaimer that was stated on the Spinetic website, and it says that this does have more pronounced edges and may be considered sharp. The machine finish does not feature brushed edges and faces like the regular stainless steel does. So brushed edges and faces, that seems kind of vague, I guess. Being written by Spinetic, does that mean that every other machine finish spinner that they list has brush finish on the sides and edges? Because if that's the case, then, you know, it's something that I don't like, because I personally don't like Kepler's brushed finish. And I know that majority of the spinners that Spinetic does have on sale are made and manufactured, or machined I should say, by Kepler. And I think that Kepler's brushing sucks. I mean, you guys already know, I've been complaining about Kepler's brushing ever since, for example, the damn design spinners, you know? And it's just really disappointing. I just don't like the fact that Kepler just randomly brushes shit. Like, I could do better. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, when you say machine finish, I guess I would expect completely machine finish, just like this. I really like this. Now, the issue of the sharp edges aside, there is a little machining flaw on my piece, at least, that I want to point out and share with you guys. For me, I don't really find it much of a concern because it's a small thing to me, but I notice it and I can't unsee it, and so I decided to share it with you guys. And what I'm talking about is this joint in between the main core circle area and the arms. Now, on the side, you could actually see that this part, see the light reflection, is pretty straight, but if you flip it over, you can see that this side actually has some imperfections. You could see it kind of angling upwards a little bit. See that? I'll flip it over again, and you guys can see that this one is completely straight. And the thing is, it's always on opposite ends. So I think that it's something to do with the design, you know? It's on this side and this side. So these two are identical, these two are identical. So here, I'm going to show it to you guys without making any edits to the video. See, this is the side with the imperfection, so it's here. the side with the imperfection would be here. So this is completely straight here, but if you look at this, you can already see that? Yeah, see the imperfection there. So I'll do this again, okay, and I'll flip it over like that so you can see that, but nothing up here. So yes, there is some issue with the machining. I don't know if it's because of the machinist, I don't know if it's the way this thing is machined, or even maybe, I don't know if it was a problem with the design in the first place, because it might have been the design in the first place, or it could be the way this was programmed to be machined. Who knows, but it is something that I noticed and I wanted to point out to you guys. I know that I jumped straight into sharing my impressions with you guys when I was initially supposed to first share some specs about this, but I really wanted to share that bit with Tetris to you. So here are the specs. This is in stainless steel. It is offered in copper and titanium as well, and the weight for the stainless steel version is 52.1 grams. Now this one I can't even round up to 60 grams, so this is a little bit lighter than what I would really generally like. Not too far off, but still it could afford a little bit more heft in my opinion. But something's gotta go, you know what I mean? Something's gotta go. Copper one weighs in at 58.5 grams and titanium weighs in at 30.5 grams, which is super light. And for the bearing, it is stated as a Spinetic S-Class TN. I don't know what a TN is. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what a TN is. I have to apologize, but it is an R188 bearing. And it is stated on the website that this is a press fit, but I don't think so. I haven't tried it yet. I might be wrong, so I apologize, but I haven't found any reason why I want to pop the bearing out in the first place. So I'm not going to pop it off. I'm not going to glue it back on because this spins like a charm. For me, this spins really well. The spin is great. Like Tetris said, the spin is great. It's just that it's overly sharp. Spin is great. Really smooth, really nice, and it's got a nice feedback sound as well. Table spins pretty awesome as well. It's getting about 4 minutes plus stated on the website. I haven't timed it yet, but I will not disagree. This thing spins pretty well, and yes, because of the design, weights are being thrown outwards like that, exaggerated this way. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it could easily hit 4 minutes without a problem. Next is a size comparison between the Cutbar and a Stubby. And you could see that the total height is about the same height as a Stubby, but of course, proportions are a little bit different in terms of the width. And I remember I took a picture of this for Joshua before, but just look at this guys, I want to share this with you. Look, from top view, Stubby and Cutbar. That silhouette is sick. Just, come on, agree with me. Please agree with me, please. This looks really sick. I would totally want to own a spinner that has a silhouette or is made in this particular design. Someone please do it because this looks awesome. I like it. Like just look at that. And imagine if it has 3 layers of different heights. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow, I'm making myself excited. Oh my goodness, my hair. Oh. Stubby, off you go, Stubby. Too much excitement for one day. So there you go guys, table spin with no problems. The buttons themselves, they actually feel pretty comfortable. I like the way the buttons feel. It's not too, I guess, too intricate. It feels good enough, there's enough grip. It is wide enough. It doesn't have a curvature bowling thing, but it does have ridges that go inwards. So 2 staggering lips, I should say, that provides more than enough grip. Wide enough that you could actually hold it with a flat grip or a pinch grip with no problem, and not too slippery. The button height is also pretty good. There are 2 button heights, one that is of a taller height like this one is the taller one, and you actually have a special low profile version which is almost, I think, the same height as the weight itself. So that might not be everyone's cup of tea because I prefer something that's slightly higher or taller, so it could bring my fingers further away from the weights so that the fat of my thumb would not be rubbing against the spinner frame, you know, unnecessarily. So those are the specs, and you already had my impressions in the earlier part of the video. Now it's time to talk to you guys about the verdict. Now I bought this for 45 USD, 45. Actually it was 44.99, just gonna round it up to 45. In my opinion, Spinetics always does their best to keep the prices as low as possible while not scrimping or stinging on any kind of quality. And while this is a little bit sharp, it does have a killer design in my opinion, and design is very subjective. But for the design and the fact that this is a press fit or a slip fit spinner, something a bit different, and it's got very nice buttons to boot. There also are the Cutbar buttons in the Unifit style. Just wanted to share that little bit of extra information for you guys. But all in all, for that price, you get the whole Spinetic treatment, the same kind of experience. You also have options to give it a different finish. Like for example, now Spinetics actually offers laser etching, which is pretty cool. I've yet to try it out. I kind of want to, but I haven't come up with a nice design yet. Yes, you could actually put in custom laser etching designs. For 45, this was actually a pretty good deal in my opinion. Yes, the sharpness is something of a concern to me. That is the biggest downside of it. That is the biggest pain point. The fact that they actually have a disclaimer on it on the side means that it is pretty sharp, you know, like... yeah. So if sharpness is not something like a deal breaker for you, then yes, in my opinion, $45 is actually pretty worth it. Very nice machining marks, and I like the way that this is designed. Of course, machining also is not easy to get a design like this. See? That complete cut through slot, that takes some level of precision, you know what I mean? Plus unique buttons to boot. Well, anyway, just so you guys know, the fact that I didn't mention anything much about the fidgeting means that I had no problems fidgeting with this guy. Just really quickly, to add on to part of the final verdict. Your finger actually lands in the middle quite easily because it's quite a big space over here. It's got an outward curve versus a lot of other bar spinners with an inward curve, for example, the stubby with an inward curve like that, but it's got an outward curve here. However, that doesn't really take anything away from the experience of this spinner at all. When you're actually fidgeting with your index finger in a middle finger and thumb grip, not a problem. Just make sure that when you pull back, you just pull your finger further away, because if you smash yourself like that with the sharpness there, it's not going to be a very pleasant experience. But so far, I've not really experienced any issues with that. Landing my finger up here as well, then performing pullbacks is really comfortable. The only difference is that I'm not able to perform nice push forwards with my fingers up here, which definitely makes sense. But push forward starting from here is comfortable. Pretty good. Fidgeting with my fourth finger, it's not scraping anything off my fingernail, so nothing to be concerned about there. Jib jabs, of course, no problem at all. And of course, with the index finger and thumb grip, push forwards, pullbacks, totally no problem at all, because there's quite a lot of real estate for you to land your finger on, which is a double-edged sword because you actually have all these nice angled surfaces for your finger to land on. But that also means that every surface is kind of sharp in its own regard, so yep, something that you should consider. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, $45 for this is actually pretty solid. It's a pretty good bar spinner. Just buff it out a little bit and I think you should be good to go, or give it a light stone wash. Yeah, all in all, I like it. I think it's a pretty good spinner for anyone's collection, especially if you're a bar lover. There is a tri version. To me, the tri version looks a little bit strange because maybe that's a little bit too much, but this actually looks kind of cool. Pretty classic, sleekish kind of design, and I dig it. And that's it, everyone. As always, links in the description box down below if you're interested. I don't know if they have any in stock right now. I know that as of now, the stainless steel one at least is out of stock. They do have a slot bar, which is a slightly different design, kind of like a cousin of the Cutbar. In the same kind of motif. Think of this spinner, but the cutouts are not real cutouts. It's just that these weights are extended all the way out, so there's no actual cutout here. So that's why the name slot bar, because it's not a cut through, it's just two slots, you know what I mean? But yeah. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing in the slice of my life. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I provided enough information to help you decide whether or not the Cutbar is a spinner for you, if you can get it. In my opinion, if you can find it for 45 bucks, jump on it. Pretty nice spinner to add to anyone's collection. Until the next video, everyone, Gaga Boost!